but I don't know what happened. I was like sneezing. I was tired, lethargic. Yeah, I am tired. I have been fighting for my life for the past 6 days, and I finally feel like a human. TMI, the coughing, the sneezing, the runny nose, I had all that. Now that I feel normal, I have a few errands to run, so I recorded a podcast last night for my Nerd Blurred channel, and that was cool. But in the midst of setting up, because I didn't feel good, what I normally do is I put this little backdrop up and I position myself in the camera, so when I'm talking and we're discussing this sci-fi show, the show we're discussing is Sliders, I will link it somewhere. But what I do is, I set it up so it'll look, presumably not distracting. You don't have this whole background thing going on. But I don't know what happened. I was like sneezing. I was tired, lethargic. And the tripod that I use, because I put the show on while we're discussing and just let it play on mute so I can kind of reference it if there's something specific I need to discuss. Then I have my notes on the other side. Man, I didn't broke my dang on tripod thing. And I guess this is the time to break it, because, it's not that expensive anyways, but I'm like, it's around the holiday season, so I'm sure it's not going to be hard to replace. But I like that one. Like, that one was fucking phenomenal. I looked on this app that I use to get my groceries delivered and found another one that allows you to position your phone on a tripod, vertical and horizontal. So I'm considering getting that one in addition to replacing the one that I just had. All of that kind of housekeeping out the way. I still have like a residual cough, but when I tell you I can breathe again, thought I would never breathe again. Oh, my Tony Braxton shit. So I'm going to get up, get dressed, bundle up, and I'm going to go probably to Best Buy because I want to look at getting the holder, but then maybe see what else they have there. For my laptop, I have a external monitor that I use to display and whatever else, but I want to just see what else is there since we are around the holiday time. I know the holiday deals are a scam, but whatever. I need something to distract myself. Another thing is my book. So I am at the end, and I know it may have been a couple videos ago where I mentioned that I could finish this book within a day or by 2 or 3 days, and I didn't get it done. But it's not because I couldn't do it, it's because I was sick. Because I got over that hump that has prevented me, whatever this I'm going through, that was oh, the book is so good, I don't want to finish because I don't want it to end. I'm past that. I don't give a damn. I want to be done. But even through me not feeling well, I think I hopped on treating and taking care of myself and getting fluids and rest as soon as I felt some type of way. So even though I was down and out for a couple of days, it was not as rough as it would have been, because it could have been much worse. So thankfully that's all good, but shit, I could have been done. So what I'm going to do is I do have a show tonight. It's not mine, it's my homeboys, and we're going to record that for this month. I'm going to run my little bit of errands and then focus on cleaning and writing, because another side effect of me not feeling good is I wanted to just clean the whole house, kitchen, laundry, all that stuff one day, and then spend the rest of my time off writing, but I can't freaking do that. And so, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to write, but I'm going to make myself finish those doggone dishes, get me some food, and take care of that before I can put fingers to keys again. But I don't know. So let me go run these little errands, and we will check back in a bit.
I found my love in Porto.
Okay, so I'm in my third act breakup situation. And one thing that I really like about writing is how usually anyone, even if you're not a writer, you pretty much can tell if something's wrong with the story. Like you may not know that such and such is wrong, but you might feel that it's wrong or feel that something is a little off, even if you can't put your finger on it or you don't know it exactly, because we spend so much time consuming stories in media our entire life. Even if you're just looking at like a Disney film, and then let's say you get to like a YA movie, and then let's see you get to like a series like maybe Transformers or MCU or something, and maybe you get into some horror. Like no matter what type of media we consume, you know when a book or a show or a movie or a series leaves you empty, like something's wrong here. And I say the third act breakup, and I'm not above the labels that these things have. I don't like it per se, but even with writing my outline and like preparing to tell the story the way the way I wanted to tell it, this third act breakup thing just felt right. Yes, I could do Save the Cat and Romance Beat Sheet and whatever else, but you know, honestly and truly, it just felt like the right thing to do. So all that setup being said, I am so upset at this fucking third act miscommunication breakup thing, and it's not because I don't think it's good. I think for me, I always worry about, no matter who I'm writing, does the decisions that the characters make line up with the characters, how I see them, and the characters, how they've been written so far. So like, for example, if I have Tom and Jane, and they're in a relationship, been in a relationship 5 years, and then Jane is mad because Tom left the toilet seat up, and Tom is mad because Jane didn't, put away the dishes after she washed them. Does those two instances of being mad at the other one line up with the way that they've been presented so far? Because if they've been this lovey-dovey couple that, oh baby, I love you so much, you could do no wrong, that frustration from the two of them could be, an underlying issue that they've had, because everything that glitters ain't gold. Just because it looks one way on the surface doesn't mean that's how it is. Or it could be, well, this motherfucker, we was putting on the show for the neighbors. There's any number of things that could go wrong, but that is a concern of mine. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job, especially with these two characters, the two leads, or the lead and then the co-lead, because one gets more screen time than the other. But yeah, that is often a concern of mine. And with this third act breakup, miscommunication, argument, whatever, it I can kind of see where you can be like, okay, what the hell is going on? But I also see, I was like, okay, there are some unresolved issues that are now bubbling to the surface, and I'm feeling good about it. I had fun writing it, and now I'm dealing with the fallout and figuring out how to piece together these last few moments of the outline. So there's the argument breakup scene we've gotten at, and then there's another major scene, but right before I get there, there is another conversation that's had that kind of bridges that gap, and I'm excited. So I'm hoping that tonight if I can just get to the last big scene, the last humongous set piece that has been on this outline since day one. This was one of those major scenes that that I came up with when I did my first brain dump, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and that. This was one of those scenes that I have been, and that's the one where I am not worried about the scene because I know it's done well. I know the way I've plotted it out is chef's kiss, but I'm also like, shit, I hope I can execute this to the degree that I need it to be executed, because this is going to be some shit. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm running my little errands and whatnot, and I am listening to some author writer advice podcasts and stuff, and I'm going to probably go through and listen to my book. That's another thing I've been doing, is taking a few chapters at a time and doing the whole text-to-speech thing with my phone, and I put a little music on in the background and let it wash over me. I'm gonna do that, so we'll see.
Look, I'm a rock star in real life. We was doing Grand Theft Autos, hitting licks, home invasions. It was a good night. Take the goods to the plug, then he bring us back by 2K. Feeling like a baller, see the Jordan on my shoelace. Nuketown.
Alright, so I don't know if you can see it, but this shit is broke as hell. So let's see if we can get a new one.
Get wicked up the door. Feeling like Kobe back in his prime. If we talk about the numbers, then I probably go LeBron. I'm a lion out the jungle, at the top I'm like the Dons. This my life, it ain't a movie, I won't be at Comic-Con. Look, big poppin', grinding like ain't no option. Throwing assist to all my homies, got feel like John Stockton. Every week I stay dropping, got y'all stay consistent in. Hurt the blind, lead the blind, but I got the vision in. Know the street deficient, needed my assistance. Real since my existence, came a long distance. Some of these days I get too stuck in no ways. Blame it how I was raised, so shit get it displayed. Look.
So I did it. I had so many other things I needed to do today, but the way I'm feeling, I'm not about to do this. I'm about to take my ass back home. I feel good. There's still that bit of sinus going on. Nah, I'll be damned. So what I'm thinking of doing with my with the branding for this new series, because I am pretty much done with book one, is I think I'm going to start a podcast. I've been podcasting for the last 10 years. That is nothing to me. I could start one every month and not be tired. But I think I'm going to, I'm considering calling it the Rhayne Coleman Literary Universe, something like that. Because I was going to focus on just this series. But I'm like, man, I created this fictional city so that all of the stories that I have to tell, I can fit them there. But that being said, I also have other stories that have been written that would be technically the same universe, but they're in other states, they're in other parts of the country and of the world. Now, at the time of this recording, that is the case, but some of those other, but some of the stories, Jesus Christ, some of the stories themselves, more can be fit into this city than not. But I do have other books, and I have other genres and other subgenres that'll, the stories will be written in. So everything at this point right now that is written in that city is romance, love story adjacent, but there are other stories that I plan to tell. So I was like, I could name the podcast after the city, but why not just after, I don't know. And the name matters, but it is not as important. But the focus that I want right now, because this book is damn near done, I want to use this podcast as an extension of the world building. For me, someone who's read comics, watched soap operas and primetime dramas and all that since I was a child, one thing that I've always enjoyed, even without or before the whole extended universe, shared universe comic book thing, has always been continuity. As a kid reading comic books, that's something that you enjoy the books, but once you start getting into the serialized stories, you do start to focus on, okay, in issue 167, Jean Grey did this, but I only have issue 167 and 168. I don't have anything until 193. And so, trying to figure out what's what are the holes, the plot holes, and then speaking specifically about comics, there's this whole other leg of just like retcons, and then different creative teams taking over and ignoring stuff that happened in the past, and then another creative team takes over later who doesn't ignore it, and then they try to explain. It's a whole continuity mess. And so one thing that I enjoy about being a consumer of those types of stories is when there is other supplemental material, even if it's just an interview with Stan Lee, or a podcast episode where someone has talked to an artist, or a letterer, or somebody who has a little bit more insight into said story. And so that's what I like to do, is like just extend that continuity, or enhance it rather, through the podcast medium. So I think I'll probably be doing that today. I'll add that on my list of things to take care of, and depending on how this falls, if the podcast is up and running, it'll be in the show notes, and if it's not up and running by the time this video goes up, then I'll go back when it is and put it in the show notes. But that's pretty much where I am now. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up, because I need to get home and lay my butt down. But happy Vlogmas. I'm trying to do it.
Now my statements in the plus. The brakes I hit the thrust. Garden snakes I leave them cut. Ask about me in my city. Motherfuckers know what's up. But some of these days I get too stuck in no ways. Blame it how I was raised. Hush, get it displayed.